Hey guys, and thanks for joining us for today's edition of Ace This Recipe. I'm Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. And listen, I know we've been talking recently a lot about turkey. So we wanted to do something a little bit different today, right? So we're going to talk about turkey leftovers on the Traeger. We know you had fun celebrating that big holiday with your family and friends, and I'll tell you, it is time to make the ultimate Thanksgiving leftover sandwich. So we're going to take some fun ingredients, mix them all together, build this gorgeous sandwich. Then we're heading out into the cast iron on the Traeger Ironwood with reserve blend pellets. It really doesn't get any better than that. Hey, and if you're interested in all the gear and the gadgets and grills we're using today, head up to that little eye. That is our information station. You can click on that. It'll let you into the world of everything we've got going on today to get you all geared up to make fantastic leftovers, right? Who thought they would be so good? So thanks for joining us. It's time to head out real quick, get the Traeger fired up, and then when we come back from that, we will get into this up close, do a little food flyover, show you all the fun ingredients in today's recipe. We're going to be cooking today on our Ironwood 885, and we're going to go ahead and load it with these bad boys. You know I love these reserve blend pellets. I love that oak apple cherry flavor. I just think it does a great job really adding a lot of flavor. So we'll get those loaded. We're going to go at 450 degrees today for two reasons. One, we're making a sandwich and we want this bad boy to be nice and hot, right? So we want it to get really hot, but we also want this cast iron to get hot. So what we'll do, we'll turn this up to 450, we hit ignite, and now it is time to put the cast iron in there. The beauty is the cast iron will now get hot while the grill gets hot. So we're using all that energy, really being a little bit more efficient and heating it up while we heat the grill up. So next up, let's get back in and show you how that sandwich is made. Look at that collection of leftovers, right? We have some leftover turkey breast. We sliced it nice and thin so that we had some room and made it nice and even on the sandwich. Some hot jalapeno jelly, because jalapeno jelly. Leftover stuffing. Leftover gravy, just in case you want to do a little sandwich dunking. We have some cranberry sauce and also some provolone cheese as well. So that is the ingredients. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Let's get in and start building this sandwich next. Well, with today's recipe as well, we even built a little how to assemble your sandwich. But you know what? Feel free to go as much, as little, or whatever order you want. So I'm going to start off with my bottom bread, and I'm going to spread just a little bit. I don't want a ton of cranberry on there. I want just enough to get a little bit of flavor, a little bit of tartness, so I know it's there, but I don't want there to be too much. All right. And I'm going to spread this edge to edge because I know if I don't, someone's going to ask me why I didn't. So we got that handled. Next, we're going to go ahead and add turkey. I'm making 2 paninis here. I'm going to try to add 3-4 pieces of turkey, depending on what fits or what I'm in the mood for. Let's go like that. And we'll get that guy added. Now, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of stuffing, right? We're going to put a little stuffing in the middle of this guy to make it even better because, yeah, that doesn't get much better than that. All right, so pack down our stuffing. I like to kind of pack everything down so it's nice and flat. I want it to be, to cook evenly and to be fast cooking. I don't want it to take forever. A little bit of provolone cheese on here. Use, again, whatever cheese you want. And then on that top piece of bread, I'm going to add some hot jalapeno jelly inside. And I like to go a little bit because I like that jelly to just drip down my sandwich and make a pretty fantastic sandwich. And we'll do slice number 2. Get this guy all set. Do this bad boy up here. All right. And we are set. Now, let me readjust my cheese. What I'm going to do next, just kind of the final thing, is I'm just going to take some kind of half melted butter here, and I want to spread this on the top. What I'm doing now is getting this ready for that cast iron. So we've got the Traeger preheated to 450 degrees, nice and hot, right? That cast iron is going to pick up a ton of heat, and then this butter's really going to help us get nice and toasty and melty and delicious and fantastic. So we'll go ahead and butter the second side. Next up, we'll see you out on the Traeger where it's time to get these guys in the cast iron. Let's see what we've got. Cast iron is hot. Now listen, gonna get that beautiful sear, right? We're gonna go ahead and let that sit now. We're gonna give it about 5 to 7 minutes before we even touch it. We'll get that closed. We'll come back and check it when it's time to flip. we're looking for beautiful brown, nice crusty toasted bread. That's when we know it's time to flip. Look at that. See how we're already starting to get that butter on the top piece melted, and we're getting your little cheese melted, and we're looking for that cheese inside to melt, everything else to get warm. That's kind of what we're waiting for. Not quite time to flip it yet. I usually can tell a little bit around the edges, but we'll come back here in a couple minutes and give it a flip and get ready to finish this guy off. All right, let's get in here and give this guy a flip, see where we're at. Oh yeah, look at that. We're starting to get nice and brown. We're gonna go ahead and push this back just a little bit more, and we're gonna let that finish up until this cheese right here melts down around that turkey. Then we know we're in a pretty happy place. We've got our gravy all set, but look at this nice juicy close-up. That is a Thanksgiving grilled cheese masterpiece right there. So we've got the one that we just cooked. Behind it, we got another one on deck going in. But I'll tell you, look at that fantastic, amazing sandwich. So next up, we're going to cut into it, sample it, and we will be devouring a beautiful sandwich here. All right, you guys, that is it. That is done. And I'll tell you, we showed you that little close-up, that little drive-by or fly-by, right? This sandwich came out absolutely perfect. We've got a lot of crusty bread on there. It is fantastic. Look at this. Let's cut into it. Look at that beauty right there. We have some cheese, some stuffing, some turkey, some cranberry, and all of that and more. Well, I'll tell you what, thanks so much for hanging out with us for today's edition of Ace This Recipe. We hope you found a new, fun, creative way to repurpose maybe a little bit of your Thanksgiving leftovers. So I'm Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Hey, be sure to head down into the comments section. You can click, print, and follow along. Grab today's recipe, and then while you're down there as well, don't forget, as always, to leave us comments. Tell us how we can be more helpful. What would you like to see, and what would you like us to cook for you or teach you on our next Ace This Recipe video? And then while you're down there, too, don't forget to subscribe, right? It is time to tell the world, subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel, click on the notifications, and you will be set and ready to get notified when all of our videos go live. And then don't forget, at the end of this video, we've got a couple more videos ready for you to click and watch and follow along as well. So I think before we get moving any further, it's time to dunk it in a little gravy. Look at that. That is fantastic. And we have that. You get that nice little heat from the jalapeno jelly. The hard part, not double dipping in the gravy. Take care. Happy cooking.